Welcome to the 21st century's new Cold War, but this time it's not between the US and the Soviet Union. It's the US versus China. The world is watching. Will democracy triumph, or is the future authoritarian? This rivalry is about much more than just trade wars. It's a battle for global influence. Economics, technology, military, ideology. The decisions these two superpowers make will reshape the balance of power for decades. But the biggest question remains: whose model will dominate? The economic front of this Cold War began with tariffs and sanctions. Both the US and China are scrambling to decouple their economies. The US is limiting Chinese tech giants like Huawei, while China is investing billions to make its own semiconductors and infrastructure. What happens when the world's two largest economies no longer rely on each other? At the center of this rivalry is Taiwan, the most dangerous flashpoint in the world today. Taiwan isn't just a small island. It's home to the world's most advanced semiconductor industry, critical to both the US and China. If tensions over Taiwan escalate, it could trigger military conflict, dragging the whole world into a catastrophic war. Meanwhile, China is building alliances through BRICS, a group of rising economies challenging Western dominance. With new members like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Egypt, BRICS is trying to create a world less dependent on the US dollar. Could this shift the balance of power away from the West? The US is ramping up its military presence in the Indo-Pacific to contain China, but China is playing a different game, expanding influence through its Belt and Road Initiative. China is funding roads, ports, and power plants across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The question is, will hard power or economic influence shape the future? While the US and China battle it out, other nations are carefully balancing their alliances. Europe is trying to reduce its dependence on both powers. India is emerging as a neutral alternative, and Southeast Asian nations are caught between security guarantees from the US and Chinese investments. No country wants to choose a side, but they may have to sooner or later. This isn't just a rivalry between two nations, it's a fight for the future of humanity. The US is betting on democracy and freedom, while China promotes control and order. In this struggle, technology, military power, and diplomacy will determine the winner. The question isn't just whether the US or China will win this new Cold War. The real question is, what kind of world do we want to live in? A world dominated by the West, or a world reshaped by rising powers like China? The future is still unwritten, and we are all part of this global story. If you found this video thought-provoking, hit that like button, subscribe to stay updated on the latest geopolitical news, and let us know in the comments. Which side do you think will shape the future, the US or China? Thanks for watching, and see you next time.